Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. You join us for the Sunday post-race press conference at the end of the Motogp Grand Prix of the Netherlands here at TT Circuit Assen. Congratulations once again. It's another double win in 2025 for Ducati Lenovo team rider Marc Marquez. Second in that Grand Prix for Aprilia Racing was Marco Bezzecchi. Marco having a great weekend here in Assen after his podium in the sprint yesterday. And completing the podium, third place goes to Ducati Lenovo team rider Pecco Bagnaia. Gentlemen, congratulations to all three of you. Marc, the weekend started pretty tough for you on Friday with the crash in the morning session, the crash in the afternoon, but you bounced back, the win in the sprint, the win in the Grand Prix. How do you assess what's been a very successful weekend?
Yeah, unexpected weekend, especially here in Holland. Looks like in Assen, looks like this year we are winning in the most difficult circuits for us, and we are doing some mistakes in the favorite circuits, but apart of that, super happy because I believe, and I'm honest, that today one more time I was not the fastest out there, but I was able to manage the race as I won, and yeah, very happy because the weekend started in a very difficult way. Not 100% happy because my father just told me that Alex get injured, I think one finger. But I won all my opponents out there, especially the main opponent that was Alex, who was riding in a very good way, and is my brother. So we will try to help him to come back as soon as possible and with the same level because he's riding that Gresini Ducati in an incredible way.
Yesterday it was Alex that pushed you all the way in the sprint. Marc, today it was Marco on the Aprilia. So much pressure over those 26 laps, but you dealt with it so well. I mean, how tough was that to manage?
Yeah, it was really difficult. And coming from this question, I want to say to the people that they need to respect all the riders, because yesterday on the media scrum start to think that your brother didn't attack you as the other riders, and even the people, some mechanics told me that in the social media people start to talk about things. I mean, and today Marco, why didn't attack me? In the end, if the front rider is in a very equal level, in the racetrack that is super narrow, you cannot attack the front rider. So yesterday I defended in the best way possible Alex, and today I defend in the best way possible Marco, and I knew that they were faster on that turn 11-12, that is the fastest area and the narrow area, a very narrow corners, and there if you are on the good line, they cannot attack you, and I was strong on the break points, so I defend in a very good way, and on that way I take the 37 points. But one more time, respect the MotoGP riders, because all of them defend his colors, defend his teams, and all the grid wanna win. But the problem is that only one is able to win.
Marc, congratulations on your double win here in Assen. That was your 68th MotoGP win today, which ties you now level with Giacomo Agostini in the all-time record winners list. Second place then goes to Aprilia Racing's Marco Bezzecchi. Marco, we spoke here on Thursday in the pre-event press conference. We know how much you love Assen. I think you love it a little bit more now, though, after the podium in the sprint yesterday and a real hard battle. You put so much pressure on Marc in that Grand Prix. You must be delighted with your weekend here in the Netherlands.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Of course, it was a fantastic weekend. I think I don't even remember the last time that I made a double podium on Saturday and Sunday, so can't be more happy than this. Finally, a decent qualifying, a podium yesterday, a podium today. So yeah, very happy. First of all, I'm very happy about the race today because I was close to Marc all the time, and honestly, I didn't really expect at all, but then when I found myself there, I said, why not to try to stay close to him. At the beginning maybe I was closer, but then in the second half of the race he made a step in terms of pace, and my fight was just to try to stay close, not to attack. So yeah, very happy about the weekend in general, and yeah, thanks to all the fans.
Yeah, the fans have actually voted you the rider of the race here today, Marco, so congratulations on that. Marc's just touched upon the fact that you were behind him for so many laps and it was very difficult to attack him and make the overtake. Was there any point where you thought that you might have the chance?
Well, to be honest, the only place where I was strong to attack some riders was the braking of the last chicane. I pass Alex, I pass Pecco there, but Marc was a bit stronger in the turn 15. And as he said, I always catch him in the wrong place because I was faster in sector 3, but then I was too close with the slipstream in the change of direction before corner 15. And in that area of the track is really difficult to stay close with the slipstream, so I had always to step back a bit. And then I wasn't enough close for the braking of the last chicane. Of course, he was, I think, a bit stronger than me, so I was a bit on the limit on all the race, and this is why I never had the chance to try. But yeah, happy anyway because I did my best through all the laps. So yeah, good.
Great weekend, great job, Marco. Your first double podium for the factory Aprilia team. Completing the podium today then, factory Ducati rider Pecco Bagnaia. Pecco, you did set the fastest lap in that Grand Prix, so that the speed was there, you had the pace, but unfortunately, I'm sure not the result you were hoping for, but it is another podium, a part of that rebuilding process. So how do you feel about today's race?
I feel that for the first time this season, I feel that my pace was the strongest one during the weekend. Throughout the weekend, and my one was the strongest with the Marcos one, but then in the race I finished in the same place as always. So I'm struggling more or less always in the same way. I'm there fighting. I can fight and attack in the first lap, but then I feel like a little drop that cost me a bit in the middle of the race, and then I'm able to be fast again. But in any case, Marc is doing a fantastic job with this bike. I'm struggling more to find my balance on this bike, knowing exactly how was the last year bike, and I'm just struggling on it. But we are working. For the second weekend in a row, I was fast enough to fight and attack in the first laps, and we need just to take the positives. And when we'll arrive, we'll arrive. I'm quite confident that we are not that far, and we are getting closer. It's also true that now we'll move on to tracks where Marc is super fast, like Saxering, but let's see. Like he said, this season is super fast where normally was struggling, and is struggling a bit more when apart Aragon, where I was super fast. So let's see. Let's try to be competitive in a track where I was always competitive, but let's see this season.
What is that final piece of the puzzle that you're missing, and do you feel like you're getting closer to solving it?
I feel that I'm struggling in the braking entry with this bike, and this track here always is only braking entry because the corners are really fast. So my struggling is there. I cannot stop the bike where I went where I want. And I need to let the bike go in and a bit wide, not in the perfect place to accelerate. So I'm just struggling on it, and but it's true that we are improving session by session. But after 10 races, we are almost there. So we are always there. So we just need to do another step during the races.
Gentlemen, once again, well done to all three of you. We'll take questions, please, now from the media. Thank you very much.
Hi. Dimitris Diatsidis from OTTV Greece. Question for three of you, but one after other. First, Marc, it seems that you managed this situation with Marco until the end, and then you had a little more tire in the 3 last laps, or you just keeping that distance, and in the last laps it was something that happened normally?
I always say that with the used tire I feel comfortable. Already last year my strong point was the second part of the race. This year I improved the qualifying practice, I improved the sprint race, and I keep my strong points, that was the second part of the race with the used tire. It's not that I have more rubber than the other Ducatis on the rear and on the front, because I'm the one that is pushing more, but it's just a question of feeling, and with the used tires I feel comfortable.
A question for Marco. Marco, you were about 2/10 faster every lap in the third sector. It wasn't possible for you to keep that momentum and attack Marc in these places?
No,
And this new aero helped you to be so strong at that point.
At the end, the new aero is very similar to the old one. Is a step for sure. Helps in some places of the riding, but was more because of the work that I did on the riding style, especially on the sector 3. I was making mistakes on the line in turn 10 and 11, especially through Friday, but also yesterday on the qualifying. So yesterday evening I tried to work a lot on this, tried to study a bit the videos from the other riders, the data and everything to adjust that area, and then I was coming out of 11 very strong. So I think this was the key, let's say, but anyway wasn't enough to try an overtake on Marc.
Pecco, question for you. In this fight with Pedro, you said last week that after 6-7 laps you are feeling a drop in the front tire, but this time you remain back of Pedro in these 6-7 laps, and then you attack again, and you had a very good pace, almost sometimes catching a little the guys. In 2 laps you were the faster, you make the fastest lap time, and you were catching these two. What's going on with front tire?
Pedro was dropping, and I was feeling a bit better in that moment. It's a matter of risk when you are behind. Unluckily this season I'm struggling more to follow someone. As soon as I arrive close, I feel that the front is not on a correct place, and the movement and locking and understeering is heavy, and I just really wanted to be on the podium position, and my pace was faster than the one of the guys in front of me. So I just tried to be perfect and smooth till corner 12. I just tried to enter super fast in the 15, and then I just used the speed of corner 15 to overtake him. But when I'm following someone this season, the front of the bike shake a lot, move a lot, and it's not easy. When you are following a rider that his pace is very close to your one, it's more difficult to close the gap.
Neil Morrison over here. I have a question for Marc and for Marco. Marc, after Silverstone you had 3 crashes in 3 important moments on the Sunday, but then since then you've won the 3 Sunday races and won them very well indeed. Is it something that you've adjusted slightly with your riding to kind of avoid those mistakes that cost you in Jerez and Silverstone, or is it something with the setting?
I try to manage to don't repeat the mistakes. I don't want to say a lot of times because maybe next race I will do, but yeah, on that Sundays were my weak point, and always I try to focus to improve my weak point, and then yeah, let's see if we can keep that consistency, and looks like that right now yeah, we change a bit the bike balance. Team is helping me a bit, and I feel much more comfortable on that first laps and also on the last laps. So as today was not the perfect start as yesterday, but I had the rhythm to overtook Alex, to overtook Pecco, and to lead the race.
Okay, thank you. And Marco, obviously there's been a lot of stories this weekend between what's going on with Martin and what's going on with Aprilia. I mean, does this affect the kind of the mood in the team at all, or is it kind of easy to put all of this to one side?
No, doesn't affect. I mean, at the end is my relationship with Aprilia is amazing. So they welcome me in a very good way. The whole factory is working good. I can only try to pay them back, giving my all every corner, and this is what I'm doing every weekend.
Hello, gentlemen. Frank Weying from Ziggo Sport. A question to you, Marc, and one for Marco. Marc, you said that this was a race where you had to defend. Still, you won, like you say, but you also win races when you're attacking. What gives you more satisfaction, winning a race where you have to defend or winning a race where you attack?
No, of course, the most important victories of the year were Qatar, Mugello, and here, because are a racetracks that I didn't expect that victory, and I was fast. So for that reason, especially the most special one was Qatar, because it was the first circuit where I had some dubs, and there I was super fast, and I had that extra concentration to attack in the correct moments, and especially this weekend that I start not in a best way. I'm happy to myself, and I'm happy also to Ducati, to Davide Tardocci, to all the team, because they helped me to control myself and to control my instincts.
And were you physically okay today? Any limitations?
Yeah, adrenaline is the best painkiller.
Okay, thank you. Marco, we saw you win, obviously, in Silverstone, which was a great race and a great result for you. But would you say that race was better than this race because you had to battle with Marc?
Now, Silverstone for sure was better. It's always better when you win. But I have to say that this race also was fantastic, because I think was the first time for me that I was so competitive through all the race, and I was fighting, and I was really on the limit through all the race. I never managed the tire. I never managed myself. I was risking all the corners like a bastard, but then I had fun, so it was good, but it's better Silverstone.
David Emmett, Paddock Pass Podcast over here. Marc, question for you. You were explaining that you were setting your bike up for braking. It was clear also that you were very strong through 15 and into the chicane. But did you set your bike up knowing that you would have to defend, because that assumes that you would be leading, or did you set your bike up thinking just to play to your own strong points?
No, I mean, it's just my base setup. Honestly speaking, I race with exactly the same bike as Mugello, with the same setup. I mean, we don't touch anything, just the biggest difference was the aerodynamic, but it was just because I crashed with one bike and on FP1 on the third lap, and then I jumped to the second bike that was with the new aero. I get used, and I say, okay, we keep it, because it's one of my strong points of my riding style. Get used to the situation and get used to the bike. Then, of course, now in Sachsenring we will come back and we will retry again, because it's not very clear that is better or worse. So yeah, part of that, my base setup from Thailand to here didn't change a lot. I mean, we did a step in Mugello, and we keep it the same step here.
Michel Turcot, Motor Review. Two questions, one for you, Marc, one for you, Pecco. Pecco, you said that Marc adapted better than you to the GP25. Do you think it's because he didn't race with the GP24? And
yes.
Marc, you said that you won in a racetrack where you didn't expect to win, and you made mistake on a racetrack you were supposed to win. What to expect for Sachsenring?
So
How will you approach Sachsenring?
Sachsenring. So here on Thursday I say no, try to defend. Sachsenring, I will try to attack. I will try to take the 37 points, but I need to understand if somebody is faster, is faster. Now I start to have some advantage in the championship that, okay, we are not even in the middle of the championship, there's still a lot of races to go, but you need to start to manage a bit.
Cosimo Curatola, MOV, question for all three. We've seen and heard some amazing bikes going around here, like, I don't know, a bike from Uncini or Barry Sheen or whatever, the Patton, or Kajiva from John Kocinski. Which would you ride for a couple of laps here, and why? Thank you.
For me, one of the last versions of 500cc, two strokes, that I think is the biggest different, or yeah, was like a different category. Now it's now MotoGP, so one of the last versions of that bike.
Allora, I was lucky to try the 250 two-stroke in the Aprilia All-Star, and I would love to try it in this track.
The Kajiva 500 is one of the nicest bike ever built. and I really always loved. I would like to try in the old Assen, the Honda 500 of Alex Barros. Yeah, against the Motogp.
Alex Loperrey from Motorway Magazine. A question for Marc. Marc, I would like to know which period of your career have more value for you, or it's more important for you. Winning 6 titles against a generation of icons like Valentino, Pedrosa, Lorenzo, and Dobby, or still winning now at 32 after 4 difficult years and against a generation younger than you?
I mean, I cannot choose. I cannot choose because the first years in MotoGP were amazing. But as I say, sometimes my biggest challenge, or my most difficult challenge in my career was come back from that injury. I bet on myself. I lose many things just to understand if I was competitive. And for me, the most important year of my career was last year with the Gresini team. Because was when I did the decision, then everything arrived. But last year was a crucial year of my career, and to come back from that injury, because we thought that year will be impossible to wear a red leather suit and lead the championship.
Simon Patterson from the race. Question to all three of you. At the end of the Moto3 race, did race control make a mistake by leaving it so late to put out the red flag?
Yeah.
It's easy to say after that. I respect a lot the race direction, but yeah, maybe sector 2. When you see that jam one bike jam with another rider, and that collision, that incident. You need to have the red flag as soon as possible, but I respect the job, and of course they will take the experience.
Well, it's difficult, as Marc said. Should be earlier the red flag in these cases, but it's also always very difficult to judge. You have to put yourself on their clothes, and it's never easy. So. Maybe just a sector before, because then they arrive to the last chicane still fighting, and then they realize inside the chicane that there was a red flag. So it's always a matter of time. It's never easy, and in Moto3 the battles are always crazy. So I understand the situation. That's it.
When a rider is on the ground, crashed with a heavy crash, not getting up and marshal around him, you should put the red flags as soon as you can, and by any chance give the possibility of the riders arriving in the sector, pushing like they did. So for me it was quite easy to from outside seeing what was happening to give red flag, because the Lunetta was on the ground, heavily damaged, and I didn't understood why they let the riders there pushing. So strange.
For me, one of the points was Lunetta was conscious, and this is something that the medicals speak with the race direction. So I think they thought that they would have time to take out all the bikes and all the riders, but of course just 2 corners earlier, because if they have time to remove everything, if the riders are conscious, then everything was fine.
But he's okay? You know something about Lunetta or no?
Tibia.
Yep.
Yeah, Adam Wheeler, 2 quick questions for Pecco and Marc. Pecco, can you feel the confidence coming back, or would it take a couple more weekends going in the right direction for you to feel anything like last year?
From Aragon till now, it's true that we get back to the performance I was having in the first races, and I just lost a lot of confidence in Le Mans and Silverstone, not understanding what was happening. And the last 3 Grand Prix, from the race in Aragon, Team Mugello, and this weekend was the best one all the season. I was able to to push hard. I was having a really great pace with used tires, new tires, so I was more confident. So the confidence is getting better and better, but it's true that the DNA of a bike is difficult to change, and I try to change approach and don't try anymore to change that much the bike, because you can make just mistakes doing that. So it's much easier to getting used to what you are riding and trying to adapt. It's not easy for me, because I need a very much more stability, stability when I release brake, and with this bike it's more difficult, but we are getting there. We are getting better and better, so I hope that in the next 2-3 races I will finally feel okay.
And Marc, you've won in Germany with good bikes and bad bikes. The current package you have at the moment, does it make you smile going to Sachsenring next?
Yeah, of course, it's one of the circuits with most success. But it's true that also there Honda was super strong on that tight corners, because it was the strong point of Honda bike, the strongest point. Sorry. And about this year, we will see. I mean, last year also, when we arrived in Sachsenring, no, everything will be fine. Another victory for Marquez, or the first victory after long period. And then on Friday, changed everything. I broke one finger and I broke one rib, and then even like this, I was able to finish second. But let's see. I will try to enjoy it, but understand during the weekend.
Marc, Marco, and Pecco, great job all weekend, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you in Germany in 2 weeks.